Class 3 here on the all-weather for the second last. The trip is 1,200 metres with Encore Boy unbeaten, 1 from 1 course and distance, won on his final start last year. Joyful Moments also won on his final start. He's a two-time course and distance winner. Tang Fleming's won on the surface. That was over the 1650. The California Archer likes to roll, but he's come up with barrier 11. Mr. Wealth third on his final start behind Encore Boy. Star of Yanoi is a two-time course and distance winner. Shimmer and Shine, he's 1 from 1 course and distance as well. After Me makes his all-weather debut, and Grandmaster blinkers back on. Might be a little bit on the sharp side for him, the 1200. Mythical Emperor's been on his travels as well. In the off-season, he spent some time with Chung Fa as well for Chris So, Brett.
Well, look at that up front there. Very crowded, very pacey. Winning Van Gogh, Mythical Emperor, California Archer is going to have to work really hard to cross them. Encore Boy can let the pace go, I would have thought, with Joyful Moments. Mr. Wilf can kick up. Shimmer and Shine, I wonder what they'll try and do with him. I presume they might have to sit 3 deep with a bit of cover and hope for a bit of luck.
Encore Boy's going nicely. He's quite a versatile horse, this one. He won nicely on the all-weather last start, and he's only had the one run on it, so he's unbeaten on the surface. Goes well at Happy Valley as well, so his work's been good. Go Public is another one that's been working really well recently, and some of his track work's been good. He's going to get back, so he's going to be really suited by this strong pace, no doubt whatsoever. You can see him having a good work out there. And here is Shimmer and Shine. Nice, big, strong horse, and looked really good last season. It was a tough win when he did win because he sat 3 wide all the way on that occasion. Just might have to do it again this fresh up.
Got a hat-trick as well, Shimmer and Shine, after winning the start before on the turf. And that is where we're going to start as well, with Shimmer and Shine's jockey, Chad Schofield.
Shimmer and Shine, Chad, after his last win on the dirt, Tony Millard, his trainer, said he could be something special. Do you agree with that sentiment?
I do. He's been quite impressive. His latest win, sitting 3 wide on the speed, no cover, dashed clear, hit the front, and then it was quite soft in the end. So his trial and work's been good since. He seems to have developed and he looks a bit more stronger. So it'll be interesting to see how he returns.
You've won on him on both the turf and the dirt. Is he necessarily better on one than the other?
Not really. He is very effective on the dirt. He can gallop on turf too. He's just a nice young horse on the way up, and let's hope he can continue winning.
Drawn 8, is that a concern for you at all?
Not really. There looks a lot of speed down on with horses drawn well, so if we can tuck in behind them, that'll be nice.
Yeah, cover is what he'll be looking from that gate for sure, with all the speed, as Chad said. Hopefully he can find it for his supporters. Encore Boy, much like Shimmer and Shine, 1 from 1 on the surface, but versatile as well, as he's won on the turf too.
He goes in with no trial, but he should get the ideal run in the race. Pretty similar here. He can just sort of sit in. And I think, he showed a bit of a liking for the surface. He's got to carry the full 133 and doesn't have a trial underneath his belt. But there's a fair bit of residual fitness, I would have thought, that would have carried over from the 9 runs last season. And he'll be very competitive again. Yeah,
I've got him in on the second line. I think he can run well. The trial's a little bit of a concern with having to carry that weight, but otherwise I think he'll run nicely.
All right, more winning form to take on board. Joyful Moments, again, going back to the back end of last season. And California Archer, the draw would be the concern for him, I suppose.
Yeah, he's going to be 3 wide on a strong pace, so I sort of dismissed California Archer for that reason, barrier number 11. If he can tuck in, then it's a little bit different. And Joyful Moments, he won well enough. He doesn't, he pops up occasionally, just up in weight a little bit now. He's a 4-time winner.
I really like California Archer as a horse, but just that barrier, all the pace, he's likely to do all the heavy lifting here, isn't he, and then be vulnerable in the end. So I've left him out, but I will be following him closely.
All right, OK. Mythical Emperor comes here on the back of a very solid trial win. Back towards the end of August.
You can deal me out. I'm not a fan of this horse. He's very hard to get right. He is a 3-time winner. He's won once over this course and distance, twice on the turf at 1200. But generally for me, he likes to bowl along on his own. He was sort of just handy here and then just bowled to the line. But all this pace in the race, I don't think he'll cope too well with it. I could be wrong. I've been wrong with him before. But not for me. I'm shopping elsewhere.
Yeah, I didn't put him in the end as well. Zach Purdon's on. It'll be interesting to see what price he does come up. $10 currently.
All right, winning Van Gogh, we know he's got loads of speed. He'll want to be on the pace for sure.
Yeah, they're going to put the blinkers on for the first time with winning Van Gogh. He hasn't won yet here in Hong Kong. He's had 4 seconds though, and he's gone pretty close on occasions. Dylan Moore aboard. He's got barrier number 1, but again, he's going to be on the strong pace, I thought.
He is. He's got the good barrier, blinkers on. He's had blood in the trachea 3 of his last 4 starts. He's already bled, so he's a risk conveyance for me, shopping elsewhere.
All right, OK. But as far as it being just our second dirt race of the season, I think it's a pretty good one. Here, Paul, Shimmer and Shine, just our favourite.
Yeah, I reckon there's a really good race, and there's a horse in here who's dropped a lot in ratings in the off-season, which is Star of Yano. He's 1 off 77. He's now rated 69. He's trialled really well. He didn't have a good season last season, but I think he's back to some of that form, and he's just very dangerous in the ratings. He's going to be $20. He's 20 at the moment. And so I'm going to take a risk and make him my long shot. To beat Encore Boy, Shimmer and Shine, and I think Go Public's another one that's going to be a double-figure price that's going well. So I end up with 9, 1, 10, 7. I like 9. I'll make him a long shot. Fair
enough. I think it is, with all the pace foreseeable, it's really hard to sort of work out exactly how it's all going to unfold, because there's going to be a lot of horses charging for just 2 or 3 spots initially. Shimmer and Shine, he's had the same barriers at his last few. It's obviously tougher going up in class, but he should sit and get a bit of cover. And sometimes 3 deep with cover can be okay on the dirt. You can peel out in the stretch. Nice horse going forward. Go Public will probably come from the back as well. Encore Boy should get the nice run from the barrier, and Mr. Wealth also. So 10, 7, 1, 6, but there are others you can make a case for. It's a good competitive race.
It certainly is. As far as trainers were concerned, last season it was Frankie Law and Mead Choi who were the leading trainers on the surface. Neither of them have a runner here, so we can't use that stat. But one horse I just want to go back for was Tang Fleming. I know this is going to be sharp for him, but he had good form overseas on this ground as well.
Yeah, and he has won on the surface. So, yeah, as you mentioned, so he's definitely one that could run well. The problem I had, as you mentioned, could be a little bit sharp for him. And this is quite a really strong all-weather race. It's going to be a really good race, and that's why I went for the outsider, because he's going to get back, and I think he'll get the race run to suit as well.
There'll be some good dirt form to come out of this race. Just second run for Michael Chang, Tang Fleming. I'm happy to sit on the fence.
Yeah, I ultimately will as well. I thought with all the pace he could be staying on, but there you go. That is the 9th. One more race to go, race number 10, plus all the best bets. That comes up next.